I have built myself a new computer. A computer to finally replace the laptop that this channel has been running on for the last 2 years, so hopefully my videos will look a lot better from now on. And if I just bring up the F3 screen, you can see that I am now rocking an Intel i7 11700K CPU, a 2060 GeForce RTX graphics card, and 16GB of RAM. Although I'm not sure if you can actually see the RAM on the F3 screen there. But regardless of that, I'm now armed with a device of doom, and I thought that we should have a fight between my new PC and Minecraft itself. And just before we begin, I thought I would just let everyone know that we are running on completely vanilla Minecraft right now. We don't have Optifine, we don't have Sodium or anything like that, so the performance is actually as vanilla as possible. So for this first test, I think we should do the TNT test. So I've just gone ahead and spawned in 1,000 blocks worth of TNT. Let's just grab myself a flint and steel because I am unprepared. What a silly YouTuber. And let's just light this thing and see how the computer handles it. Maybe it will kill it, maybe it won't. It shouldn't do. Oh! Oh! Well, it actually handled that pretty well. So I say we dream up something bigger. So this time we have just gone ahead with over 10,000 TNT blocks. So this is a 22 by 22 by 22 block cube of mass destruction that will hopefully not bring my computer to a complete standstill. But we'll see how that goes. Let's give it a light. Oh, I sincerely hope that I haven't just killed the computer. It should be able to handle this. Hopefully. It might take a while. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is bringing back memories. Well, it's less than 1 FPS. Or not. Okay. Okay, it's actually handled that really well. I think I'm not seeing any TNT, I'm just seeing pure explosions now, but I've got to say, the FPS has jumped all the way back up to what it should be normally. Like, I can move around. I've killed a mob, I'm now a monster hunter. That's fantastic. I love it when that happens. I've got to say, though, it does seem to be handling over 10,000 TNT pretty well. I'm on 56 FPS right now with a bomb of over 10,000 TNT. That's fantastic. Oh, and just like that it ends. Okay. My new computer has successfully survived 10,000 TNT. That test has been passed. So this next test is going to be the chunk loading test. So, with my old laptop, it had a bit of an issue where I could fly in a straight line and the chunks wouldn't load fast enough. I would fly faster than the chunks could load, and I'd end up flying in the void quite often, and that is kind of terrifying. So we've given ourselves some wings for the job, and you know what? Let's raise our render distance all the way to the max. And I've not generated this world at all, actually. In fact, we're not just loading chunks, we're generating them. So, we'll see how this goes. Maybe we'll fly in the void still, maybe we won't. Hopefully we won't. I'm hoping that my computer upgrade is actually good enough for the job here. So, let's see if we can catch up with the border of the world. Well, it does look like it's still generating, but I don't think I'm actually catching up with the border itself. So that's pretty good. I think I will have to say that this has actually passed the test, because I'm not actually catching up. I'm getting close, but the loading is actually keeping up, despite actually being on a 32 chunk rendering distance. Like, it's performing pretty well, I have to say. And this next test is going to be the entity test. So we've got 5 dispensers here, and we're going to fill them up with mob eggs. And which mob are we going to use? Well, I think we should use goats. And that is purely because goats, I think, are the most laggy mob in the game. Just because the game has to calculate all of the different directions that the goats can jump in and all that sort of nonsense. They result in actually being incredibly laggy. So we've got our dispensers hooked up to this inverted comparator clock just here. That will allow it to fire as fast as possible, and that's going to be another measurement of how fast the computer can run with a gazillion entities. And we're just going to fill them up with goat spawn eggs. And in fact, just to make things a little bit more amusing, I'm going to take these goats out of this middle one here and put some villagers in there, so that the goats headbutt the villagers. So in total, we have 2,880 spawn eggs within these dispensers, and hopefully we'll be able to spawn all of them before the game dies. So, I think it's testing time. Let's see how well the computer runs after I flood it with entities. So, let's give it a whirl. Let's see how my computer manages. Now we're currently on... Oh, I saw a 300 just there. That makes me happy. I don't think it's normally on that. But as you can see, the dispensers are firing as fast as they can. We've got tons of villagers, tons of goats. I'm going to leave the F3 screen up just so that you can see how the FPS is affected by this whole thing. And it is slowly going down. I don't know if it's going to manage 2,880 mobs. Oh, there we go. I just saw a villager get yeeted by a goat. Oh, I love that mechanic. Oh, there goes another one. I wonder if any of them are going to die. Well, we've got an absolute ton of mobs so far, and I've got to say, it's still running. It's still technically playable. The FPS is atrocious. Like, I don't want to play a game of Minecraft at 15 FPS. That's pretty bad. The clock has slowed down. The random tick speed, or is it just the tick speed in general? It's just really, really slow, as you can tell from that. The firing of the dispensers just there, the noises. But I've got to say, it is still running. Behold, the great army of Whistler, ye mighty and despair. Oh my goodness, what happened to my avatar just there? Oh, I hear screaming goats. We have screaming goats in the fray. That is fantastic. So, we have waited just a little bit longer, and my computer is still alive, although it's pretty far beyond the limit of being playable. I am still actually technically having frames per second, though. We've got 5 FPS, 4 FPS. Wow! And I can actually still see my character moving, although it's not really an animation at this point. It's more of a slideshow. But we still have frames. My computer is surviving this mass onslaught by the great army of Whistler. And that's just brilliant. I think that's enough, though. So let's just get rid of these guys real quick. Rip. So this next test is, I don't really know if this is like a properly laggy test or not, but I want to do the particle test. So we're just going to spawn a nice surface that I can use here. And then beneath that, we're going to spawn in over 10,000 spore blossoms. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting lighting glitch just there. But I'm hoping that this amount of particles isn't going to do anything. It seems to be handling it okay. I thought this would have had a much worse impact on the computer, but it looks like I'm actually okay. All right. I've still got 90 FPS here. That's brilliant. And this next test, because I hear that hoppers are laggy, is going to be 10,000 hoppers. And it looks like I'm all right here. I've still got 100 FPS here. That's brilliant. I thought the hoppers would have more of an impact. So let's actually see if we can make it a little bit more laggier with a large amount of chests. Yes, these are extremely laggy. Oh, all of these chests. This has actually had an impact on the FPS. I can see it. It is a little bit framey. And it looks like I'm still getting almost 30 FPS with all these chests. And I think that's pretty good, because I have some massive storage systems that I would like to build in my hardcore world at some point. So the fact that I'm able to have this amount of chests and it still be 30 FPS, I would say it's pretty good. Alright then, let's do the zoom. We've got 100 FPS there, 72, 53. Oh, we're going in for the zoom. This is actually, while it is a bit framey, it's a bit satisfying just watching all the chests fill out like that. But yeah, I have to say that I'm fairly happy with my new computer. So hopefully my videos will look a lot better from now on. There won't be frame stutters everywhere. And I've got to say, some of the diagnoses that some people have tried to give me with my laptop in the past, like, dedicate more RAM or something like that. Come on. You know nothing about computers, do you? That is nowhere near the only factor that determines how well Minecraft can perform. But hopefully, we can all agree that this computer is a hell of an upgrade. It's actually passed all of the tests that I've given it. Surprisingly well. So with that being the case, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!